like 10 seconds, okay? And we are live here on the Bryan County Patriot. Welcome to this presentation of BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. We're a little bit after 5:30 Central Time now, but we appreciate you watching. It is a special presentation now from the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce. We have remoting in from Washington, D.C., United States Congressman Mark Wayne Mullen, as well as coming in from Oklahoma City, it's Oklahoma State Senator David Bullard, and also somewhere in an undisclosed location right now is the Executive Director of the Durant Industrial Authority, Lisa Taylor. We also have the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm going to turn this over now to today's guest host, Curtis Armour.
Thank you, Joey. First of all, we want to thank Bryan County Patriot for hosting offering the technology to make this work. We want to welcome everyone to the town hall meeting. We have a few items that we're going to try to get to. One of the things that, since we are a little bit delayed in getting started, I think the senator and the congressman are both on kind of short timelines. So we're going to kind of speed this up the best we can. And the first order of business that I want to do is introduce Jeff Hammock for the invocation.
Let us all pray. Father, we thank you for all that you give us and how you guide us and direct us. I pray that our hearts will be right, that our thoughts, our words, and actions can follow, and I pray for our legislators to make wise decisions and godly decisions. We thank you for all that's listening in, and that we will be following you in every step of what we do and direction that we go, and that our lives will be protected by you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
One quick order of business I do want to do real fast is I want to introduce a few people. Are we dead? Oh, there we go. All right. Hopefully we're still going. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this first. Janet Reed, Executive Director of the Chamber, Katie Quinn, Jennifer Taylor, Jennifer Brewer. Thank you guys for doing this for us. We've got a couple other guests in here. Jeff Hammock, who is the co-chair of our legislative committee, who has helped put this together. And then we also have the manager of our Main Street, Stephanie Garner. She's here with us as well. And so since you guys are on kind of a short timeline, are there any statements, Senator Bullard or Congressman Mullen, that you'd like to make?
Go ahead, Senator. You're welcome. We're working hard right now. We've been up here most times late, and so I appreciate you guys being willing to host this and get us going. And it is with great honor that I'm able to be here, and I'd rather be there in person, but I appreciate you guys hosting this. Did you want me to speak to what's going on up here and some of the bills we're working on, or did you want to go ahead and let Congressman go? Since
that would be great. That would be great.
Okay. Congressman, thank you for letting me go first. I appreciate that very much, sir. So we passed a lot of bills. One of the biggest bills that we just passed recently tonight that we debated heavily was a COLA, cost of living adjustment for our retired state employees. I'm very proud of that. It's a 4% COLA, not quite across the board. So very proud of the bill that just passed there. I just walked in here after passing another bill that would bring sheriffs onto the pension plan on retirement. So it's actually a kind of a big deal that we're passing some of those kinds of things off right now. So we've got a lot of bills going through. We've passed the budget. That's one of the biggest things. Oklahoma has a $1.3 billion budget deficit right now. And so we're trying to fill those holes, and that's tough to do. So we've done that. And the other night we passed a veto override from the governor on a couple of vetoes on the budget, on some things dealing with teacher retirement, things like that. We staved off about $390 million in cuts in education. And so that was something that we were very, very proud of. One of the biggest bills that's probably come to light here in mind that Congressman Mullen, you actually helped me on, and I appreciate you very much on that, is a beef processing bill. We're trying our best to get the beef industry and help them all we can, because they're struggling right now. And this bill is House Bill 2008 that would allow the cattle producers to bring their beef directly to a state inspected facility. And that's where the difference is, and allow them to sell it retail. but they've got to hash out some differences between the State Department and the federal, so the Oklahoma Department of Ag and the federal government on how all that works out. So we're working hard trying to get things done in a way that helps the economy get back open and restore livelihoods and do minimal damage and minimal cuts. So with that, that's pretty much most of it. We're working on a lot of bills, but that's most of it. So I thought maybe if you had some questions, you might ask me, or if you wanted to let the congressman go, that would be either way you wanted to do it.
Congressman Mullen, is there anything that you'd like to address real quick before we open up to a few questions?
Yeah, as the senator said, him and I have talked multiple times now. The bill to allow beef producers to process their own meat in the state, that originated with the senator. The senator took that and has been running with it. He's done a great job. I support it. Him and I have had multiple conversations trying to figure out how the federal side could work on this. Listen, I find myself on both ends of this situation right now with the beef prices going in the tank, literally, and then with the beef prices for the producers at the cost of sale, which is when we sell them on the hoof, is what we call it, versus when we sell them on the plate. And so as a producer, I run a lot of Red Angus. And then also my wife and I own a steakhouse. We see it on both sides. So on one end, my beef prices are literally junk prices of what I'm selling them for at the stockyards. But then at my restaurant, I'm paying $17 a pound for a steak. That's my cost. That's for beef, $17 a pound. That's just crazy how high those prices are. And there's no reason for it. And what we call is price gouging. And actually today, I stepped out in front and actually called for Secretary Perdue to step down. He's not doing anything. It's 49 days today since we passed the CARES Act. And underneath the CARES Act, we have $659 billion set aside for the Paycheck Protection Program that was authorized through the SBA. And in less than 2 weeks, they were working with the Trump administration. They stood up an entire program, worked with all the banks, got the banks online to be able to issue the loans and be able to get the money out the door to the point where we had to go back and reappropriate another $310 for the Paycheck Protection Program, and it's almost out of money. In the same 49-day period that we've been able to make sure small business owners receive the money to be able to keep their employees on payroll in the tune of $659 billion. The Department of Ag, that was appropriated $23 billion, has given out actually zero. Not a dollar has went out of the Department of Ag. And so there's a problem at the head of the Department of Ag, and that's what Secretary Perdue. As far as what we're doing right now, we're voting on the socialist agenda that Speaker Pelosi has put out. They call it the HEROES Act. We're going to be here late tonight. Votes are going on literally as we speak. In fact, my door just opened, and they're telling me that 1 o'clock, meaning I've just got a couple of minutes to get out the door. But the issue that we have with this HEROES Act, supposedly HEROES Act, it does stuff nothing to do with coronavirus. It allows illegal aliens to get stimulus checks. It prohibits the federal government from deporting them. It prohibits the president from signing checks during this time. It directs money to sanctuary cities. It requires all businesses that receive stimulus money to pay the Davis-Bacon Act, which is the federal wages. It just is absurd. It's a wish list of the extreme Democrats, not your Roosevelt Democrats. These are the Cortez Democrats, the socialist Democrats, and that's what we're debating. That's what we're voting on as we speak. Some rules to it, and then we'll be voting on it about 10 o'clock tonight. So I'm just like Senator. I'm happy to answer questions, but unfortunately, I got caught by the clock because of the technical difficulties that we had getting on, and I'm going to have to run out the door and go vote, and I'm so sorry.
Congressman?
Yes.
Just one question real quickly. You mentioned that the small businesses have been protected by the PPP program. The 501c6s have not.
Yes.
When are we going to see some relief?
So the 501c3s are, as you're right, the 501c6s have not. There's been a lot of conversation on that. For some reason, that has stopped with the Speaker's office. The administration has tried to get the 501c6s put in place. We have here on our side of the aisle been trying to get it replaced. For some reason, the Speaker's office just won't entertain it. And we're not getting any reason why the Speaker's holding this up. We have asked, I know Leader McCarthy has written a letter even on this, asking her why she is refusing to allow the 501c6s to see the relief. And we've just seen silence on it. And so I wish I had said some update on you, some update with you on this, but I don't. It's kind of like this package we're voting on tonight is $3 trillion, over 1,800 pages. And the members of Congress had zero input. It all came out of the Speaker's office. She's controlling everything up here, and she doesn't seem like she has to answer to anybody. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but I just don't.
You know, Congressman, is there a way that you could put some pressure on SBA? I know there was some new guidance that was sent out that allowed some cooperative utilities to get into PPP over the last couple of days. Is there not a way they couldn't add the 501c6s?
Well,
in the same vein?
Since the 501c6s was specifically written out, and the guidance isn't able to be rewritten. With the co-ops, left it open for the rules and the guidance to be interpreted, but it was specific about 501c6s, and it specifically mentioned 501c3s. So there isn't. It has to come from the legislative side. There's no rules that can or guidance that can be written on the administrative side.
You know, unfortunately, as I understand it, there's only about 170 billion of the PPP loans left after it's been added in. So if that doesn't change quickly, the C6s are going to be left out.
Absolutely, but it's going to take a legislative fix. We're going to have to vote on it, and the Speaker's got to allow us to bring it to the floor. There's already been a standalone bill that was actually proposed on the last round of the $310 billion, the extension to the Paycheck Protection Program, and they amended it at rules and didn't allow it to come out of rules.
Okay. We've had one question that's been addressed to Senator Bullard.
Hey guys, I got to run to make this vote. I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you dialing in. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but again, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Congressman.
Senator Bullard, I have a question from Lakendra Ibarra, and the question is, what was the reason for passing House Bill 3862? It says it puts patients at risk and further undermines independent community pharmacy and professionals that is already under fire from big businesses.
I'd have to go look at that bill. We've gone through so many bills. I'm not real familiar with that one. We've gone through over 2,000 bills so far in the last couple of months. So I'd have to go back and research that one. I'll tell you what, do this though. If she will reach out to my office and call into my office, I'll research that and get that information directly to her.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions that have come in? Okay. Real quick, some of the other topics for discussion, you know, COVID-19 funding, opening up Oklahoma. Is there anything that you can address? I know we're beginning to see restaurants open up around local.
We're getting close to phase opening up on a different phase of it with the governor, and thankfully he has assigned a task force to start looking at how we're reopening, make sure we're doing it safe. I think that's one of the bigger things, is that we're not just reopening where we're spreading it everywhere, but so that we're letting these businesses reopen and do what they're supposed to do. And so we're working hard on that end of it to try and get us to a good place there. What was the other question? You said COVID-19 and what else?
COVID-19 and opening were the two questions that I threw out there just now.
Okay.
And
COVID-19
and funding for COVID-19.
Okay, COVID-19. The last numbers we saw are going down, and so they're starting to show that it's actually getting better in Oklahoma. Some states don't have that luxury, but in Oklahoma so far that has gone down as far as the numbers. So the reopen seems like it's going well. And the governor has been very good about how he's doing the phase in and paying attention to it. The state epidemiologist is keeping us updated on things as far as how the spread's going and all those kinds of deals, but it's working good.
Has there been any discussion of antibody testing?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, so they briefed us on that a few weeks back on the antibody testing to say that it's they're starting to ramp up some of that. And they've got some of these tests are starting to filter in now are better tests than what we had been using. You know, the test in the past, it was taking at least 36 hours. Some of them were taking more like 7, 8, 9 days. So a lot of these tests are coming up that are coming into the state. So they're still ramping up testing, and we're going to see an increase in some of these numbers just because more people are being tested. We're trying to get as many tested as we can as the state, as the health department goes.
Okay. Just some of the other topics that are on our list is the 2020 census. I know that it's been kind of sporadic, and I'm sure COVID has not helped the.
No, it's not. Now, here's the good news. The numbers are starting to come up, so I'm very excited about that. I went to Senator Lonnie Paxton, who's been charged with keeping us informed on what's going on with the census, and he sent me some information. Oklahoma right now is sitting at 52% response rate. Here's the good news. Durant is sitting at 53% response rate, so we're actually higher than the state average. I do not say that so that people don't or stop doing the census. That's $1,600 per person for 10 years. And that's a lot of money we miss when people don't do the census. So please fill out the census and get that done. But Bryan County is sitting a little lower. It's sitting at about 47%. And so we're coming up a little bit, but we want to make sure we keep moving that up. I'd like to see Bryan County higher than we've ever been so that we have more money allocated for streets and schools and hospitals. And that's how we know how much money to allocate. And so the census is vital, and it's not Big Brother. If there was anybody in this world who is anti-big government, it's me. And the census is not big government. It's not them trying to track you. It's trying to find out how to allocate resources. And so I would encourage everybody out there, go ahead and fill out the census and get it done so that we have more dollars coming into our area for better roads, better hospitals, better schools.
And the last item on my list is any other updates on pending legislation or anything that might be introduced?
Yeah, we're running through quite a bit of it right now. We'll see what happens. There is a bill on the table to do an Oklahoma convention, constitutional convention, which by the Constitution we're required to do every 20 years, and we've never done it. So there is some legislation to put it to a vote of the people. And that one is going to be an interesting bill. We'll see how heated that one gets. We've been through some heated debates here lately. The COLA debate today was one of my prouder moments because it's been 12 years since our retired state employees have gotten a COLA, a cost of living adjustment. So I'm very, very proud of that one that passed off here today. The sheriff one, pardon me. The sheriff bill today, adding them to the pensions is also a big deal. We need to take care of our sheriffs. And that one was kind of a surprise. I didn't think that one was going to get on.
Can you address a little bit about the budget shortfall and how that's being addressed?
Yeah, so we actually were able to hold education really, really low, which was my big deal. Of course, I come out of education, so I was pushing really hard. Education took a 2.55% cut in the budget. Which for them, of course, they're the biggest line item in the budget. And so that's a big cut for them. But because of CARES Act dollars, and thank you, Congressman Mullen, for that, we now have money coming in that will offset that. And actually education will be held flat because of the CARES Act dollars. One thing I do want to address on it is the retirement system. There's been a rumor floating around, and I wrote an article about it and put it out. But we put in this year $219 million into teacher retirement. We did not steal money from it or take money out of the corpus or in any way. We protected that fund. We didn't put as much in this year because we moved that money over into the formulas, the education formula. It's the same way with the firefighters and police retirement system. we put in $116 million of state dollars into the retirement system. And so we're still putting lots of money into those retirement funds, and we're not going to do anything at all to ever hurt those funds. And I want people to make sure to understand that. We were trying to move budget money around and fill holes and gaps and keep the budget cuts as light as possible. And we did that this time. Our concern is next year. It just depends on the economy. And if anything is certain right now, everything's uncertain. And so we're trying to we're having a hard time guessing at how much money we're going to have on the prediction. So we're being very careful with the dollars, with your taxpayer dollars right now.
Okay. At this point, I don't think we have any other questions. Stephanie, do you have some questions? Okay. Senator Bullard, unless there's anything else you'd like to address, I guess we will let you get back to the floor and take care of the business of the people.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll be in late tonight voting on different bills and debating different bills. I just wanted to say thank you guys for sending me up here. It has been phenomenal working here and being able to do the work. It's tough. When I used to teach, I was telling people that when I taught AP classes, this was our time of year when we were hitting it hard, you know, AP reviews and National Honor Society and every meeting and everything you can imagine. And I thought I was tired then, and I'm tired now. And we're working hard. We've been staying up till late at night trying to work on these bills and get the bills right, because we don't want to just pass anything that gets across and get anything that gets thrown up, because there's a lot of bad ideas coming up. So we're working those bills out and getting the good bills going. And I sure do appreciate it. It's my joy to come up here and serve you guys.
Well, thank you for your service, Senator.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys putting this on, by the way, and thank you for your leadership in my town and my area. Appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. At this point, I guess I'm going to introduce Jeff Hammock again, the co-chair of our legislative committee, and he has some special guests to introduce.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Curtis. I think they've already been introduced, but I'm going to introduce Lisa Taylor again, who's our recently come on board as our DIA director for Durant in our area. Lisa, if you'd like to give us any input or any comments, that'd be great.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. I was really hoping to have opportunity to comment to Senator Bullard. He's really proven to me by his recent votes that he is definitely pro-business. I don't know if anybody's been following Senate Bill 1075, which is the quality jobs bill. And for those that don't know, we really rely hard on the state to assist us in providing assistance or incentives to recruit big business to our community, and mostly those manufacturing jobs. And that quality jobs money coming down from the state really is important to us. We have several companies that are moved to Durant as a result of that incentive. And Senate Bill 1075 actually provides an exception if they're not meeting those minimum payroll requirements for that. This bill, Senator Bullard was one of those people that voted in favor of it. And as far as I know, it did pass. It's gone to the governor, and it does provide an exception so that if those employers that are receiving that incentive do not meet those payroll requirements over the next several months due to COVID-19, they are being given forgiveness on that. So we do appreciate his vote on that. And I believe, but also Representative Roberts had voted in favor of that as well. So we really do appreciate that locally.
Good. We appreciate you too. We're glad you're on board with us. And I know you've got a lot of irons in the fire going around doing a lot of things to promote Durant and Bryan County. And there's a lot of activities that are happening. COVID's kind of slowed things down, and we appreciate you and everything that you're doing to help promote this area. Also have with us again is Stephanie Gardner, who's our Main Street Director. And I know we've asked you to comment on anything. Are you sure there's not anything you would like to? Here,
I'll make a comment. I didn't necessarily have any questions for them, but I guess I should have expressed my appreciation like Lisa did. this has been an unprecedented time, as I'm sure we've overused that word, but the team that's in this room and the team that's been on the call, including, Representative Dustin Roberts as well, has been amazing throughout this, especially speaking as somebody who is small business minded and working with our Main Street program daily. So we appreciate, the funding that has come through for our small businesses. We know there's never going to be a perfect solution and there's never enough money, but we do appreciate what has come through, and they have been constantly, in touch with us, trying to keep us as updated as possible. As you can see from tonight's schedule, they're very busy people, but they have done a great job to reach out and to try to keep us informed and to try to listen to what our community and our small businesses are needing right now.
Unless we have any questions or anything else have come in online. With that, again, I want to thank Joy McWilliams and the Bryan County Patriot for your service, for helping us out and the technology behind this. Thank anybody that's out there that sent questions or interested. And again, don't hesitate to call the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce if you have questions. These ladies are wonderful at helping promote our city and not just our city, but our county. And so again, thank you very much. And we'll wrap it up with that.